we go to Las Vegas, the city of no clocks and 24-hour service. And when Ross King was there just a few weeks back, he came across the biggest pussycat in the world.
And when that roars, everybody runs. The lion, the symbol of MGM. And with over 5,000 bedrooms, the MGM Grand is the biggest hotel in the world. It's playing host to one of the biggest shows in the world, FX. And in it, one of the biggest stars in the world, Michael Crawford.
It's a magic world where rules do not apply. It's a brave new world where any dream can fly. Magic and mystery turn to reality in the world.
Michael, FX, the only way I can think of describing it is like yourself. It's big and it's brilliant. Does that seem fair?
Well, I've lost quite a bit of weight, so I don't know quite how to take that. And I'm still only 5'10 and a half. It's quite enormous in its size, in its physical size on stage, which has been the one big factor that's taken it so long to open.
The show itself is just absolutely stunning. So how did it all start? When did it begin?
It was about 3 years ago, and there's this fellow called Gary Goddard had written a storyline really involving some of the characters that I'd played through the years. And so we used Barnum, which is very dear to my heart, and then other characters who were visionaries. So each time he wrote someone, it was someone who was a visionary. So there was this theme to it.
Was it nice bringing Barnum back again?
Yes, it was. It was great to do that again. And with this production, it's the one character who's very, very light. That's the comedy. That's the comedy part of it. So there's some Frank Spencer in there, but he's American and a red nose and a hat and a great big backside.
Coming to Las Vegas, I mean, what made you want to come here?
I think the availability, to put this size of production on, it wouldn't have been possible in either New York on Broadway or in London, the West End. Those kind of finances just aren't there. So here, you had the revenue from the gaming, which when I was here many years ago and I saw the Jubilee show at the MGM, and then I saw Siegfried and Roy, you see casts of 60 people, and you can't believe there's so much available. And if there is that money available to put into a production, then you go into your memory box so that you get the best designer you can find and work with him and create the most wonderful picture that you can. And it's pure entertainment. This was just an opportunity to get that paint box out and paint on a very, very broad canvas, which otherwise in my life I might never have the opportunity. And thanks to Phantom, I was given that chance through becoming known here, and they chose me to be in Vegas, which it's unbelievable, isn't it? I feel like sort of Tom Jones Jr. I mean, don't look like him, but...
No, I didn't want to say anything there, Michael. Was it something then that you did always dream of when you were younger? Because you've done almost everything, Michael.
No, I never actually dreamed of playing Las Vegas, no. It's not something that came in my wildest dreams, but I never thought I'd be in the West End of London. I never thought I'd be on Broadway. And to come out here and be wanted by the Americans to headline things like this, it's such an honor. When you walk by and you see your face on that poster up there, enormous poster outside this great thing with MGM on it, it's an unbelievable feeling. I hope I'll never lose that. I mean, I won't, because life's too short.
And so am I.
We could use you in the show. I could use gags like that.
But it is wonderful that you've still got that incredible enthusiasm for it, because, as I said, you have basically done everything. You've done the stage shows, you've done the movies. I mean, it's incredible to keep... Is that what keeps driving you on, then, that enthusiasm?
I suppose so. If you're lucky enough to have a true love for what you do, and you really want to go to work every day, then you're a fortunate human being. And it would be a terrible sin to waste that or abuse it.
Do you feel that you're changing yourself all the time? That you're your performances are changing, you know, from year to year? Do you notice a difference in yourself?
I think for the first time in my life, I'm really enjoying, in a more relaxed way, being with an audience, because you have to prove so much for so long. And I think maybe now I've paid my dues, and now I'm enjoying myself with an audience, and I feel I don't have that fear of an audience coming in to really say, well, come on, prove it. I used to have this dreadful fear on stage, and it was scary. I was completely in the wrong job, but I just loved doing it.
And what was the fear of failing or forgetting your lines?
Yeah, it was always a fear of failing and forgetting your lines. And I suppose that's still there, because when you're tired, that can happen. And the most scary time was when I went on the tour with the music of Andrew Lloyd Webber, and you're up there, and you have to go in time. There's no change. You can't go into your time all of a sudden, like as you can with a play. You can change, you can ad-lib. With a song, you can only go blah, 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 blah. You can't.
Never heard it sung like that before.
Slowly, gently, sorry, yes. And I did that a couple of times in some shows in London, New York, and LA. I used to say to Christine, and she'd go, I'm sorry. This mask, and the sweat was pouring down the side where you could see the face. There's blood coming out of the ears, because Michael had forgotten the words to Phantom of the Opera.
So as you look to the future, I mean, what's next? Obviously, this is going to take up a lot of your time.
I think hospital's next, if I last this very long. I don't know. I don't know what's next. I'd like to stay with this for some time, because this won't travel. People, if they want to see it, will have to come here to see it, because it can't travel. It's too... the size of it will not travel, and it's just for the MGM Hotel.